Freedom Academy Charter School. It is Monday, June 8th. And guess what, family? This is the last week of school. And yes, I know saying that may make some of you a little bit sad, but it's okay, family. There's so much that we need to be happy about. There's so much to celebrate. I mean, just the fact that we had such a successful end of year, even with the obstacles that were placed in front of us, we do have so much to celebrate. I mean, we completed a school year unlike any other school year that we've experienced through our history. And you should be proud of yourself. And I know I keep saying that I'm proud of you, but that should tell you how proud I am, and you guys should be proud as well. Let's all stand in a strong Angalaya and get ready for our day as we pour libations. And family, as always, we have permission from our elder to begin. And to that we say Ashe. We pour libations to the gift of life, laughter, love, and learning. Ashe. We pour libations to new beginnings. We pour affirmations to new beginnings. And we pour libations to the cradle of civilization known as Africa. We pour affirmations to the cradle of civilization known as Africa. And to the gifts that were given to humanity, like arithmetic and scripture and astronomy and the sciences and history, our stories. We pour libations to the kingdoms that we are named after. The nations like Yoruba Nation, Congo Nation, Kush Nation, Songhai Nation, Zulu Nation, and Maasai Nation. And we pour libations to the kings and queens of these nations, Ashe. We pour to kings like King Hannibal, Ashe, King Mansa Musa, Ashe, King Shaka, Ashe, Queen Nandi, Ashe, Queen Nzinga, Ashe, and Queen Amina, Ashe. We pour libations to the freedom fighters of the continent of Africa like Patrice Lumumba, Steve Biko, Kwame Nkrumah, Winnie Mandela, and Nelson Mandela. Ashe. We pour libations to those who left the continent of Africa and helped give birth to humanity across the world. Ashe. And we pour to those who remained on the continent of Africa and helped the continent thrive for thousands of years. Ashe. We pour to those who were taken from the continent of Africa against their will. The Ma'afa, we pour to the Ma'afa and the Middle Passage and the millions of lives that were lost. Ashe. And we pour to those who came over to the West, to the Western Hemisphere, to the Americas, Ashe. Those who survived the travel across the Atlantic on the slave ships, Ashe. To North America and Central America, South America, and the Caribbean, Ashe. And to the nations that were here, Ashe. And we pour to those from whom we descend, Ashe. And we pour libations to the freedom fighters of the New World, Ashe. Like Toussaint Louverture, Medgar Evers, Marcus Garvey, Fannie Lou Hamer, Ida B. Wells, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Ashe. And family, we pour to our personal ancestors, those who gave us the foundation to grow on, and those who built our families, Ashe. And we pour to the institutions that teach us about our history, our legacy, but also teach us about our struggles and our challenges in order for us to move forward, Ashe. And we pour to the scholars, those who continue to learn about our history and help us push forward into the future, Ashe. And we pour to the babies and the babies' babies and those who will come and complete our circle, Ashe. And we pour to the ancestors in hopes that they receive and accept this libation, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family. And family, the principle of the month is, and that means, Ashe. So the principle of the month is Imani, and that means faith, family. And we have to really recognize that Imani is such a powerful principle that helped us break through so many barriers and break through so many obstacles. And we are here because of Imani, because of the Imani that our ancestors walked in and the Imani that you walk in daily. We 3 months ago didn't know that we would be this successful in our work, and that we would be marching, and that we would have gotten through the quarantine and this pandemic. And we are entering the summer and with success and with something to celebrate. Yes, there is a lot to be worried for, and there is still a lot of work that needs to be done, and the work will continue. There is a lot to work on. There are still so many barriers that we are faced with, but with Imani, we are going to break through those barriers, just like we've been breaking through barriers for generations, and just like you've been breaking through our barriers in our current situation. So thank you for walking in Imani, family. And so, family, last week on Friday, our word of the day was dreams. And that made me think of a story that I want to read out of our book of the month, Remember the Bridge, Poems of a People by Carol Boston Weatherford. And this story is about a man who had a dream. And so I would like for you to listen to the story and let me know what you think. Martin's letter for Martin Luther King Jr. Though sermons rolled off his tongue, Martin could not find the words to tell his little brown girl why Funtown's gates were closed to her, or that the colored only sign on the drinking fountain didn't mean the water was a different hue. But in a jail cell in Birmingham, he found words to tell the holy men why he would not halt the marches. He would rather fight off police dogs and face fire hoses than wipe his daughter's tears. That was a short story from Remember the Bridge, Poems of a People by Carol Boston Weatherford. And family, it was so short, but it was so meaningful and powerful and so relevant, so connected to how we are feeling today. Dr. Martin Luther King had a dream of peace and everybody coming together from different walks of life, but he understood the reason for a lot of the anger, he understood the reasons for there not being peace, and he would have rather see people express their frustration with society than to have his daughters grow up being afraid and crying, basically. And so this is so connected to what we do today. A lot of people are doing the work and are not afraid to stand up against those who most people may be afraid of, in order for you, young people, to have a better future. And so we march, and we continue to march, and people continue to not be afraid. It's okay to feel fear. It's okay to be scared. But if you keep marching on with Imani, we can accomplish things. And with these marches that Dr. King led and spoke about and prayed about and wrote about, these marches helped pass voting rights laws. It spun off a Black Power movement. It allowed programs like the Freedom Schools movement happen, which gave us Sankofa Freedom Academy Charter School. And these marches today are going to change the world even further. Even right now, as we speak, political leaders are talking about changing laws and making better laws to protect you, to protect your brothers and sisters. And so, family, the word of the day is a word that I've used in the past. At least I think I used it in the past. I'll double check on my notes, but I'm pretty sure I used it in the past. And the word of the day today is courage. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I do strongly believe that I used it in the past. But I think in the past, I used that word to tell you that you have to have courage. And you must have courage. But I think you've already proven that you have courage. Now that doesn't mean that you should not have fear. That doesn't mean that it should erase the fear that you may have. It's okay to feel fear or to feel sadness. Having courage means that you are moving forward even when you still have that little bit of fear in you. And you've already proven that. A lot of you have expressed that there's a little fear with the virus and the quarantine and with things going on in the news and things that you may see outside and or being afraid of the dark or being afraid of the dog next door or anything, right? But you have all moved forward and have succeeded in doing work through a time that has never been experienced before. And I know I keep saying that, and that's how real it is. And you have all demonstrated courage. So the word of the day today is courage as an affirmation, as a word to affirm that you have demonstrated courage. So good job, family. Again, the word of the day is courage, and make sure you comment down below what you think when you hear the word courage. But you know what? Also comment down below how you think you showed courage these past 3 months. Let me know how you showed courage in the last 3 months, because you all showed courage. And I want you to tell me how you think you showed courage, just to make sure that you know that you showed courage. J-Bo, J-Bo. And so, family, let's go over a few comments that were made last week for our word of the day, dreams. Rodney Tanksley says, I believe dreams can become a reality. Absolutely. I do believe that as well. It has been proven with our history, and it can continue. Whatever dreams you have, they can become reality if you work at it and stay true to your dreams. Ashe, Rodney. Hope Whitehead says the video made me cry. My dream is to go back to Sankofa. I appreciate you, Hope, for sharing your emotions. That is such a beautiful thing. It was a touching video, and I appreciate you sharing your emotions. And I'm glad, not that you cried, but I'm glad that it touched you. And I'm going to assure you that we are going to see each other very soon. And I hope that we all cry when we see each other, tears of joy. So thank you for sharing, Hope. Riley Lynn Benjamin says the word of the day is dream. Thank you, Riley. And Kyir says hi. Hi, Kyir. I'm glad to see you on or watching Morning Circle, brother. And so, family, to close out, we had so many words of the day that relate to you. We talked about the time, and we talked about space, and we talked about how we use our time and space. We talked about strength and how we are creative in our own space using our strength. And you guys have shown so much hard work. And so because this is the last week of school, I really want you guys to share some videos or photos of the work that you have done. Maybe you have taken pictures of some of your work that demonstrated how you use some of these words of our day. And so, anyway, family, for our moment of silence, I want us to reflect on how well we did this school year. And I would like for us to think about how we can move through the summer being proud of ourselves at succeeding at something that has never been done, because that is something to be proud of, and it is something to hold in our hearts. And so, family, the moment of silence begins now. Ashe. And family, so I want you guys to have yourselves a great week. The Yoruba Nation is moving up today, and we are so proud of them. I'm going to have a very special video for you all tomorrow honoring our Yoruba Nation. And so I really hope you guys enjoy that video, and shout out to Mama Renee and Mama Dana for all of your hard work, and to Sister Ebony and Brother Muhammadu for your dedication and love for our young babies, and shout out to the Yoruba Nation for now becoming the Congo Nation. And then tomorrow is our Zulu Nation birthday, and I will have a video to share for them as well. So family, enjoy your day. Let's get started on our work, and I will see you again tomorrow. Peace. Love you. Bye-bye.
Mojack the Billy Tattoo.